This has to be one of the most useful features ChatGPT has ever released, and I, for one, didn't see it coming. They've just released group chats, and I have spent the last week or so going deep on how beneficial ChatGPT group chats actually will be, and in this video I'm going to give you the lowdown, the rundown on everything you could possibly need to know to make the most out of these new group chat features. It's a bit like you've taken your normal old WhatsApp group chat and added in a super genius into the chat that is all seeing, all knowing, and can do things for you. So it feels like a normal group chat, but it does epic things, like recapping full conversations, and it remembers the whole entire chat and it can explain it all in one message to somebody you've added new. So there's no more re-explaining things to the latest person in the group, or you can use it in work. It listens and turns your messages into plans, tasks, summaries, even documents, anything you ask, from holiday planning to brainstorming for a project in school or work. And it can do all sort of the fact-checking, researching and explaining all while you're having a conversation and getting it to support you and do stuff for you. Now, it doesn't work exactly quite like obviously a normal group chat, but I'll go into that later on in the video of how to use it to get the most out of it and talk you through the best ways to speak to it in conversation. So before I talk you through how to build your own group chat and most importantly the best ways to use it, let me talk you through all the key features that you need to know. Firstly, you can have 20 people in one chat. All they need to have is a ChatGPT account and you know their name and invite them. You can at ChatGPT in conversations to get them to answer stuff and do things for you. The AI chooses the best model that it needs, so you're not having to pick the ChatGPT model. It does it all automatically. You can do emoji reacts when you're having conversations, like on WhatsApp. People can join via an invite link of the person who made the chat. You can upload PDFs, documents, images, just like on normal ChatGPT. It also understands the whole conversation, remembers the full thing, so you can ask it questions at any time. It works on both the mobile app and your laptop if you're using it for work. The same context window is for everyone, so it doesn't have any memory like you would on normal ChatGPT, and other people can't access your memory. So everything in the conversation is there instantly. With that, you now know everything you need to know about ChatGPT group chat. So let's go through some of the most useful ways of using it, and most importantly, how to use it to get the best results. So how do we set up a group chat on ChatGPT? Really, really simple. So you're going to jump into the normal ChatGPT window that you start every conversation in. And in the top right over here, you're going to see this start a group chat window. It's quite self-explanatory. Click that open, and now we have our own chat window that we can invite people to, and this hosts as a ChatGPT group link. So you just copy and paste this link, and any of your friends, family, work people, anyone that you would like to have a group chat with, you can send them the link, and now they're into it. As you can see, Joseph McQuaid has created the group chat. Your personal ChatGPT memory is never used in the group chats. So it's fantastic. You just click this link and you can send it to whoever you want in, and now you have a group chat ready to go. That simple. So one of my favourite ways of using this is taking a normal group chat and asking it to summarise things and answer questions within the chat, so you haven't got to go scrolling back or trying to work out answers to questions or things everyone has said. Because when you talk in it normally, it acts like the normal group chat you'd have in Messenger, WhatsApp, text, Zoom groups, Slack groups, whatever it may be. So you start using this instead. All you need to do, and let me show you this. Now this solves a huge problem we all have, and that is when we're having these conversations, whether it's in work, with family members, friends, and we want to summarise exactly what we've said and ask questions and just make sure we know the points that people spoke about within the chat, and that's exactly what you can do. You know, what did Sandra say? What did Tom say? Tom said he'll do it after lunch, but let's find out. Let me show it to use it. So we're going to at ChatGPT. See, this ask anything thing pops up. Obviously this is non-normal in a normal ChatGPT window conversation. Summarise this chat, please. So now we get a quick summary of everything that we've spoken about within this chat window, and within a couple of seconds ChatGPT is going to read back through like the helpful, handy AI friend to all of us that he is, and you will see the answer come up in the bottom of the screen. And here we go. Here's a clear, concise summary of the chat, summary of the conversation. The ACME shipment delay, originally expected earlier, drive around, blah 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 bump, driver delay, stuck on the M62, miracle. There we go. So it's just going to say I'm Tom, right? Hey, I'm Tom. So we're going to go, ooh, let's at him. Hey, I'm Tom. Have I got any actions? Now imagine the power of this when you are working sort of with teams, or just, let us just with your mates, planning a holiday, or making plans. having a conversation here means that ChatGPT is just sitting in the background and you can engage him like an amazingly helpful super overload power that ChatGPT is. You asked me to... There we go. So everything Tom needs to know is in there, and we could do this a million one ways. I'm sure you get in the picture. So that is So that is the first super helpful handy way, and the reason why we should be starting to build these ChatGPT group chats if you value your time and AI working for you. So let's move on to example number 2 that I know you're going to absolutely love. And that is turning the conversations that you have with friends, family, or work and actually turn it into a plan or a document. And we're going to use the same chat window that I just shown you how to ask queries of and ask questions of to do that exact same thing. So let's jump back into our wonderful ChatGPT group chat and I will show you a few examples of this in action. Okay, so we've asked these questions in the group chat, but now we need to send a summary of the boss has asked us why is this order late, what's gone on. We've obviously sorted it out as a team, but let's provide it a quick summary and we send over our boss. So we're going to ask it to do something for us now. In this example, we're going to ask it to write a quick email. So say we're having this conversation in our works group chat, in Zoom, whatever it might be, you're in our work environment, you're even in our school environment and you're trying to study or something and you're trying to solve a problem, you're talking about that problem, you can just ask this to summarise and explain for you and file that off. You haven't got to nominate someone to go be the scribe and the bearer of the bad news. So here we go. Hi, boss's name, I want to provide concise update. And there we go. Look at that timeline. So we can actually ask it to do things for us and extrapolate that information that we've already got to live in from the conversation without the bloody need to read through and be a boring human admin machine typing emails. Thank you, ChatGPT. Now, number 3. We have all got the really, really annoying know-it-all friend that is glued to Google or thinks they know everything. And having a group chat within ChatGPT means that ChatGPT takes over that role and no one argues again. So this is a beautiful thing. Say we are planning a holiday with our mates. You can actually ask ChatGPT to brainstorm with you and fact-check and answer questions. You could ask it to answer things in work. You could ask it to throw you back ideas. So let's use that as an example. So I'm going to open a new wonderful group chat on my Todd to show you how this works. So let's open a brand new group chat and I'm going to give it a think with me. So we're having this conversation about where we're going on holidays. You know, Tom thinks Magaluf, Tina thinks Marseille, 2 massively different ends. If you're anywhere from the Europe area, you'll know they're 2 very different holiday destinations. And it's just going to give us a couple of recommendations. And that's what I love about this. You're in the conversation and you can just add ChatGPT as that really, really helpful knowledge base that can understand what you're talking about. And that's the most important thing. It's got all the context of the conversation. So the answers it gives you is based off what you're already talking about. And that's the most powerful thing. And you need to remember that about this, is that it understands context. And that superpowers any sort of AI because it knows exactly the understanding of where you're doing and where you're going and what you like and what you don't like and all the bits you've had a chat about. And we just open the ChatGPT response up like this because it lives in the conversation. So what doesn't happen, it doesn't fill the page like in a normal ChatGPT conversation. I feel like my head is bigger than usual here. Let's make it a little bit smaller. You have to open it out so it doesn't ruin your conversation if you're talking with your mates. It doesn't overtake it. It's a bit like in WhatsApp when you have to click the show more button. But look at all these amazing examples. So that's it. You've got your own little Google searching knowledge base, mate and help and hype man within your group chat conversation. And let's go on to the next way of using it. And this is explaining documents or PDFs or anything that you want to talk to someone else about. Share it with them. This could be you're applying for a new mortgage and you want to show your partner all the details of the mortgage and have it explained. This could be in work. You might be trying to explain to someone what to do and you have the instructions or the manual and you're talking them through how to do it. And you can use ChatGPT as that third person to explain things and know exactly what you're trying to say. So let's jump into it and I'll show you how to do this super quickly. And it is easy as the wonderful easy drop and drag. So all I'm going to do is click open and I've already set this up. I've called this the scribe walkthrough. So just imagine you're in work and you've got a set of instructions of how to do something. So I can add this in. So, hey ChatGPT, can you read this as I need your help explaining it? And what he's going to do is take the PDF, read it, become an expert in whatever bit of information, instructions, details, whatever you're trying to explain in 10, 20 seconds, and then you can talk through in this conversation. And just think about this use. You could have your partner at home trying to set something up. They might be putting a bit of IKEA furniture together, and you can share the instruction manual on PDF and talk it through with it. You might be in work environment, and this is where it becomes super powerful, and you can talk people through processes and steps with the scribe they might not understand. So here we go. It's a step-by-step example of setting up a brand new customer in Scribe and processing their first order. So that's brilliant stuff. So, I don't know. We're going to add Tom. And what you're going to do here is give ChatGPT the instructions and then ask them to replace you in the explanation. But you're still in the chat to help. It just means you've not got to go step by step with that person throughout that whole process. So explain every little bit, because ChatGPT will answer the questions and do that time-intensive bit for you. Beautiful. So here we go. Quick note first. The file Joe's uploaded earlier has expired on my side, so I can't reopen the exact PDF now, but it remembers exactly what was in it. And I saw what it does, and it does. So there we go. It can talk that person through it for you. So you could be there on your phone, busy doing something, and somebody else needs to know how to do something, and you haven't got quite the time to explain it to them. But you can drop those instructions in, and then ChatGPT can work it through. If they get stuck, you're there to message back and answer any questions that ChatGPT can't. Super valuable if you know how to use it. And this is, like, on my personal level, one of my favourite examples, because it solves a problem we have absolutely all faced, and that is when we have a group chat and somebody gets something wrong, and you sat there with your mates or with your work colleagues, and you're scrolling back through to say, oh, Janina said this, Tom said that. No need. If you have group chat inside ChatGPT, it'll do it for you. So I'm just going to quickly show you that exact example, but it's not complicated. Anyone can do this. So just for this example, I've just loaded in a sort of fake work chat, right? And somebody has missed the time of a meeting. We don't know who. So what we're going to do now is ask ChatGPT who said what time. So who is right? What time was the meeting? Let's do call them out. Show no mercy. But you can imagine it, can't you? You've been in this situation before where somebody has said a time, somebody else has disagreed, somebody's missed it, and we're all there arguing, scrolling through to prove who's right and who's not. With us, if you have the group chat within ChatGPT, because it knows everything, it means the prior claimed that it was 1 p.m. Let me get my big head out the way for you so we can see this properly. Apologies. Story of my life for this big head. Claimed it was 1 p.m, couldn't find proof, admitted nothing. Dan was swore. Let's keep going through the final answer. There was no confirmed time in the transcript. Not a single person was correct. Emma chose 2 p.m. only because someone had to make a decision, not because it was the original agreed time. There we go. We've solved the ChatGPT WhatsApp World War III that we've all faced. And that is just another beautiful example. And the only reason why I'm showing you all of these examples is so you can start to think in your head, this is how I can level up my work, my personal life, by starting to use bits of AI. But AI that's helpful, not just using it for the sake of it or AI slop. So I got 2 more bits in this video that I want to give you some amazing bits of tips of value on. So I'm going to finish off by explaining to you the best couple of questions you can ask ChatGPT and how to use it already after giving you these examples. But let me give you some quick fire ways in which you can use ChatGPT group chats to genuinely make your day-to-day easier. So think about it, you're planning trips with family members, sharing files with people in work, or instructions with your spouse who set up that piece of furniture you told them not to. Side hustles you may have, little businesses on the side with other people that's involved in the project. You've all got one place to talk together. It's a bit like Notion on steroids. University group work with teammates and project teams, or family group chats where you're planning things and working out who's doing what for Christmas. Shopping lists between you and your partner, workout or diet planning between you and your coach, you and your planner, even just anyone else you want to speak to about training. It might be your training partner. Simply just organising your day with your family, or perhaps there's someone you work with, someone that's key, your boss and your boss's team. Work projects, sales updates, any time you're trying to get something done as a team, use a bloody ChatGPT group chat, because it solves so many problems that we have when we communicate with each other. Because as humans, we love a bit of communication, but not all of us are good at it, and our memories do let us down, and it saves you doing the scroll. And here is my final promise. I want you to screenshot this so you can use it for yourself and put it in your phone, and anytime that you're using a group chat, just think about these are the best questions to ask and the best ways to use it to get as most value out of it. Because unlike a normal ChatGPT group chat, you're not prompting it, you're not writing an instruction. Instead, you're asking it to do things as you speak, because all the detail that it needs is in the chat already. So let's run through them ever so quickly. Keep messages human. This isn't like using the normal chat window. So you haven't got to do something called a prompt. You may prompt, you may not. If you don't know how to prompt, learn how to prompt. There's a video in my YouTube videos explaining what prompting is, and it's instructions of how to get motivated. We're moving on very quickly. Just talk to it like it's a helpful friend in the conversation that can do loads of helpful things for you without getting annoyed. Now, one of the best ways to use it is using it to command use turn this into. So turn this into a text that I can send to my mother to give her an update on the plan we're having for holidays. Turn this into an email to my boss to summarise the problem we've had today amongst our colleagues and that it's now resolved, but they want to know why it was late, like the example I gave you earlier. Summarise. Now that is exactly the same as turn this into, but instead we're just summarising the conversation. So summarise for my friend, because they're not in the chat, they don't like using ChatGPT. They're built in the dark ages, but here's our plans for dinner next week that we've all agreed on and why we've agreed on it, because they're a little bit awkward and they like to challenge. Explain like I'm 12 or an expert. Explain the bits in the information. This could just be, and this is about something brutal, you might have someone in the group chat that is a friend or a colleague that might not quite understand something. So you've added that PDF document in like I showed you, and they don't quite get it. So you just ask ChatGPT to recontextualize it for you and ask them, can you explain this like a 12-year-old? Can you explain this like a 10-year-old? Be careful saying that in front of them, might piss someone off. Track decisions. So you can ask ChatGPT to track the decisions within a chat. Have you ever had a big conversation and at the end of it thought, well, have we all agreed? Big long email trail, big long WhatsApp group chat. You might be arranging a blinking surprise party. You might be arranging a holiday. It could be a work project, a school project. Who's agreed what? Ask ChatGPT, it'll track the decisions for you and tell you in 2 seconds. Saves you minutes and minutes of scrolling and potentially even arguments. Extract action. So if my name's Phil and I'm in the wonderful ChatGPT group chat and we're all talking about how we're solving something at work and who's taking away what, hey, ChatGPT, I'm Phil. Can you tell me what I agreed to or what I need to do? Same for everyone else in that chat. Like I just said, you PDFs, files, images, whatever it is, ChatGPT can take it and use it for context. And that context is that thing that it understands to answer you. Like I said, PDFs, instructions, any bit of information that you want it to be able to reference, learn from, and talk to you from, to explain things or answer questions, or just bring a little bit more information to the chat. And most importantly, when you want precision, remember to use that little at on your keyboard or on your texty board, whatever you call that. Make sure you at ChatGPT and ask it to help you achieve whatever you want to achieve from the conversation, whether that's brainstorming questions, to check something, to make sure someone's right or wrong, whatever that may be. That is my hit list. Screenshot it, use it. And that is ChatGPT group chats in the most concise, small amount of bite-sized information that I could possibly do for you that will allow you to hit the ground running, use this in your personal life, in work, everywhere in between. But I promise you one thing. If you start using ChatGPT group chats, you will find benefit after benefit after benefit. And the best bit about it all is completely free. And if you've got any questions on how you can use ChatGPT group chats or anything to do with AI for work, for business, for improving your life, just let me know in the comments down below. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching. I hope that was helpful because I've loved using these chats and loved filming this for you. Have a wonderful day.